infused with Spanish and Latino-Caribbean culture. I already know you're going to love Santiago of the Seas. This action-packed, full of color and vibrant show will make you absolutely love it and want to keep on watching. Now join me to interview the creators, who are also the same creators of Dora from Santiago of the Seas. Hi everyone, I'm Zoe C reporting for Zoe at the Movies and Kids First, and here I'm with Valerie Walsh and Leslie Valdes. How are you guys?
We're great.
Good to hear.
How are you?
Santiago of the Seas is perfect for the month of Hispanic heritage, and I don't know what it is, but like, what do you think is so appealing about Latinos to the rest of the world?
Oh, you have a good answer, because he's in love with spreading the culture and the joy of Cubans, but also Latinos.
Yeah, Latinos, the Caribbean culture, Latino culture in general, the language, the music, the history, and this show is just chock full of that.
Yeah, as a Latino, I love seeing this show. I thought it was so cute. And I love how, because this is I think it's, because you guys also worked on Dora, which was a huge success. And this show definitely has that potential, and I loved the animation was incredible. And I also love how Spanish is incorporated into the story. Was it difficult to balance Espanol and English while doing the storytelling?
We wanted to focus primarily on English and then have the Spanish sort of color the world. So you didn't have to be fluent in Spanish to understand what they were saying.
Right. Yeah.
But it makes it so much more appealing when you're like, oh, I've learned how to say this word, or I understand what they're saying, and it makes you want to learn more. So we were hoping that that's what kids are going to feel. That's how it happened with Dora too, that it made it cool to be bilingual or to speak Spanish.
Definitely. I love how you guys really incorporated that into the story. I felt it was very engaging. And not only that for kids, but it also has so many powerful messages. I saw the first episode, and at the end, they were talking about kindness and always like doing the right thing. And so what do you think kids can really take away from this series and like all the messages?
Well, I think one big thing is that you have Santiago, who's a character. He's brave and he's heroic, but he's also kind and empathetic and inclusive.
Lorelai, want to join our crew and help get the Calavera treasure back from Bonnie?
So I'd love kids to see that you're not just one or the other, that you can actually be, soft and an action hero too.
Yeah, and also we wanted to show people of different cultures getting along and trying to understand each other. And Santiago is really all about that. And he'll even help out a villain if the villain is in trouble. And he's also about just understanding people from different worlds and different cultures.
Yeah, and I know Bonnie Bones, the villain in this series. I loved her character. I thought it was so funny how she had los gaticos, like the little cats, as her sidekick. And despite she's a villain, she's very likable to kids. So why do you think it's important to have this character in the series?
Well, story-wise, right, you need a villain, or you need somebody that the hero has to combat. The hero has to make right what the villain is doing wrong or is making wrong. And so she's a good foil to Santi. She's a good nemesis, and she lets Santi shine because he shows her how to be good and how to do things the right way. And he shows us, by extension, the viewer.
I also think that kids have a lot of different parts of themselves, and they're learning what's right and what's wrong. And so to see that sometimes you do naughty things, but that doesn't mean that you can't do the right thing when given that opportunity too. So I think it's good for little kids to see that.
Of course, I love that it's so genuine and it's such a cute message, and kids can really learn a lot from this. And why do you think it's so important for Latino kids to preserve their heritage?
Well, it's important because it's a part of who they are. It's a big part of where they come from. And I think it's important to know who you are, and what your history is, because that's something you carry with you everywhere. And I think in this show, it's great because everybody is Latino and or from the Caribbean. and kids will be able to see themselves in these characters. You know, when I was growing up, you didn't have that. So it's really good to be able to see somebody that resembles you or comes from a place that's similar to yours, and then see them acting heroically and being good people. And I think that's super important.
Definitely. I am Venezuelana, and I love my culture and I'm very proud of it. And I think that's why another reason I really connected with this series. So finally, we're seeing a lot of changes with the content and the industry for children. So what do you think the future of children's content is going to look like?
Ooh,
That's a great question.
You might have stumped us. Well, I can tell you one thing that I feel as if it's becoming a little bit easier to get into the content making game. And I even see it with our kids making their own short films and YouTube productions and stuff. So I think kids' content is going to integrate more coming from kids, which would be awesome. It would really give people a platform and become more inclusive, so more people have a chance to make content.
Yeah, and I also hope that content will become more varied, and you'll see different characters from different countries and different beliefs and in different cultures being the heroes of their own shows. Hopefully this will help do that.
I totally agree. Well, thank you so much for talking with me. I loved it. Congratulations. It was a huge, I loved it.
I'm also stuck here thanks to Bonnie Bones.
Also, before I go, I just want to mention this slime scene. It's very Nickelodeon, and I really loved, I just wanted to mention that. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Zoe, take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Don't miss the release of Santiago of the Seas on October 9th on Nick Jr. Make sure to check out some other Gifts vs. Reviewers and reporters and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Bye everyone!